Dougie, how are you, mate?
Not bad, mate. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm glad I
Right.
finally got you on.
I know, mate. We spoke about it a couple of times, haven't we? Yeah, your hair's looking fresh, by the way. Looking nice, my man.
Do you know, mate, I spent about 10 months just wearing a hat for doing this, and then I was like, nah, fuck it, man. I love it now. Totally chill with it now.
Honestly, mate, it's sitting fresh on you.
It's been a journey.
It certainly has, mate. It certainly has.
Right, so you've got Scalp Studio Scotland.
Yes.
Scalp micro pigmentation. Now, for anybody that doesn't know what that is or what that means, how would you describe it to somebody?
Right, so if I had to describe it to someone, it's a cosmetic hair tattoo that basically gives the client the illusion of a full head of hair.
Yep.
But implementing dots that look like hair follicles. It's completed over 4 sessions, 3 to 4 sessions, and it's guaranteed results. Typically, if a client coming into the studio, we draw on a hairline. From there, we apply the first layer. So they always leave the studio with a nice subtle difference. Almost resembles stubble. They come back every 2 weeks. And we apply another layer, which we call density. And we apply that. It takes about 2 hours. And then we repeat that process, mate, another 2 times till we get this kind of flawless, full looking head of hair. And that's that, mate. Total game changer.
Flawless look.
Aye, mate. Changing lives on the daily with it and loving it.
What made you get into it? Because obviously you had your own business before doing this. So what was the reason for you changing for what you were doing to try and...
So my previous business was printing, t-shirt printing. Did that for 7-8 years. And, long story short, I fell out of love with the game. And I was doing that throughout my 20s, made a good living off of it. And I was just new, heading into my 30s, I wanted something different. And I was on the lookout. And one thing led to another. I heard about this scalp micropigmentation, this new industry, and I thought, I could get some of that myself. Hair was a bit thin at the time. And I was like, right. And then the more I looked into it, it was just like a light bulb moment. I was like, I could do the training, get that done. There's no one else up the town doing it.
Right.
I'm going to jump on it. And, by the time I'd done the training, within 3 months of doing the training, mate, I sold my printing business and I set myself up in the studio in the town doing that.
Full fear getting rid of your business, or?
Oh, yeah. See that whole transition period? Very difficult. And I knew when I set up the t-shirt printing business, it was very difficult in the start, and I knew I was having to go through that full process again. And no one speaks about that, that full transition period. By the time I set myself up, I had 1 client in my books.
Right.
Shanked myself. Shanked myself, mate. But I just knew, if I just kept plugging away at it, something would happen. And 4 years later, I've set up Scalp Studio, mate. And it's been a game changer, mate.
How long did you think it took you to get to a point where you were kind of not comfortable, but happy with the decision you made? How long did it take you to find that customer base and get to a point where you were like, this could work for me now, this is a decent...
I'd say it took a solid 12 months, mate, before I was like, right, I've made the right decision. I always remember a period when I just opened the doors of Scalp Studio, mate, and I had the own client coming in. Again, back to that time period where I only had 1 client in my books, and I'd spent a fortune doing this place up. I'd literally, and I'd gave up my nest egg, but I was like, what have I done? And that was that moment I was like, yeah, have I made the wrong decision? And then, I think the following week, I just kept plugging away. The following week, I think I got 2 new bookings in the 1 week. And then I was like, right, okay, I'll sort of, if I do an amazing job in these 2 clients, start paying for posts and just see if I can grow this. But certainly 12 months, I was like, right, I can see this this turning into a monster. And at that 2nd year period, that was a really good period, even though we had the in and out of lockdowns. Still did really well in the last 2 years. It's been a game changer, mate. It really has, mate. Very much hard work. But it's paid dividends. And
challenge wise, then the thing that I'm curious about, and I'd spoke to you about it when I first came in to see you, how hard is it to obviously probably still is hard now, but at the start point to get people to trust the process, because at that point, obviously, no, a lot of people were doing it, and it wasn't that heard of at the time.
Aye, honestly, mate, yeah, it was very hard persuading people to come through the door. Just thinking back to my first few clients that were coming in, I didn't want this whole hair loss industry to be a big taboo, you know, people sneaking in and out the door, getting treatments nobody knew. So one of my first ever posts on social media was me getting the treatment done. And, you know, because I always remember how self-conscious I was about my hair loss from my 20s. And, you know, it's like part of your identity in a way, you know, you're looking at it every day. So I thought, right, if I could do a post where before and after of myself, maybe that will break down some barriers for people. And that certainly worked, mate. And from there, you know, did a couple of mates in the beginning, you know, nice before and afters, and just basically keeping it very simple on social media and the website. Like, listen, this is how the client walked in, this is how he's left. You know, the results are instant, they're guaranteed, and it's very subtle, and we build it up. And basically that's how we kind of started to build up the trust factor with clients walking in the door. And it just was like a domino effect, mate. You know, did a handful of clients. You know, I remember doing this one guy who's part of like a cycling club, and also this other guy that's in a football team. And you know, once I'd done 2-3 sessions on the guy, he was away at the weekend, going cycling, this other guy playing football with his mates. Next thing they're all asking about it. You know, you've done something different, what is it? You know, you look fresh, you look good. And then from there, mate, like domino effect again. Next thing, half the cycling club, half this guy's football team, they all booked in, mate. And just went from there, you know, and the more clients I got in, the better I was getting, the faster I was getting. And I, mate, just from there, mate, it just turned into a monster.
The thing is, for you as well, it's, as much as it's a service, you're getting people coming in who are probably in quite a fragile state, because they've got to a point where they've tried other options and they've not worked, or they don't know what else to do. So as much as you're delivering that service, you're probably getting to know people's kind of deepest, darkest thoughts about the process as well. So it's a bit, it's like a therapy set. I know when I've been in it, as a kind of, you have your consultation, you're chatting it out, and then when you're in and you're talking about it, and it's like you must feel like a counsellor sometimes as well, because you're hearing all these people's kind of darkest thoughts about how they've got to this point.
100%, mate. I say this to my partner all the time as well. That's the exhausting part of the job. Especially when you're dealing with 2-3 clients a day, and you know you're holding up this conversation for 2-3 hours at a time, and they do open up to you, and just how self-conscious they've been in their battles and their journey. You know, and a lot of my clients have been in dark places. You know, either with the hair loss or alcohol, drugs, whatever. You know, and they do open up to you. That is a part of me kind of enjoys it, mate. You know, just talking to people. I do enjoy it. But it is hard work, because you're having to perform and talk at the same time and run a business. But yeah, people do open up to you, and I think that's part of the whole fulfillment out the job as well. They have been in a dark place, they're now better in themselves, and you're part of that process. You know, you're part of that life-changing process. And yeah, mate, I do enjoy it. Again, it's hard work though, and it can become exhausting. Definitely. But again, you know, when a client jumps off the chair and he looks in the mirror and you see that smile in the face, that's what keeps me showing up every day and wanting to do my best. You're doing it for the clients at the end of the day. And yeah, as much as you're having a good lifestyle out of it as well, it's what you're doing for the client that keeps you going. 100%.
Definitely, because you'll get people that will come to you after they've maybe tried to get a hair transplant or something and it's no worked, or they've done something else and they just want that fix. And as you say, you've got that kind of, when you do go and look in the mirror and you're like, this is what I wanted 5 years ago, this is what I've been waiting to, and they've spent thousands trying to find different alternatives.
Because loads of clients will come in, whether they've tried the whole hair transplant route, or they've tried the tablets that they see on social media, all these different remedies, and you know, none of them work. Half my client base is 50% hair transplants. You know, just they've no worked for whatever reason. The scalp's rejected them. The practitioners no put enough grafts in. For whatever reason, it's just no worked. And some of these guys, they've spent thousands of thousands. If I hit with figures, you wouldn't believe me. So with some of these guys, mate, you're talking proper like footballer money. And then they're coming into me, mate, and I'm spending 2 to 6 hours, and they're like, oh my God. Like, and I always get the same thing off of clients. Like, I wish I just came to you years ago. Everybody says the same thing. And you're like, you know, and most guys that do inquire about getting this done, which again, I understand it. They'll maybe sit on it for 8 months to a year, and then totally out the woodwork. You know, they'll reach out to you again. Dougie, I spoke to you months ago. You know, I think I'm ready now to book in. And I'm like, God, right, who's this guy?
You're going back to it.
I have to scroll up, like, right, okay, I remember you now, mate. Right, okay, let's get you booked in. But yeah, what I found is as well, you know, they've went down all these other paths to try find and resolve like their hair loss situation, and nothing has worked, mate. There's nothing else on the market that works. This is the only treatment that guarantees results. And as I say all the time, you know, as long as there's hair transplants, you know, it'll always keep me in business, because half of them don't work. 50% of males go bald. And mate, it's I love it. And
do you think it's more, don't want to say socially acceptable, but do you think it's more of a easier thing now for guys to go and get done? Because there probably maybe 5 years ago was a massive preconception about guys going to get work done like that, and how it would come across. But you were saying you want people to come in and they're not sneaking in the back door, they're just coming in and going out like they're going for a treatment anywhere. But do you think society's getting more accustomed to these things now?
Yeah, definitely. And I think social media probably plays a part in that. I know when I first started going into this 4 years ago, there still was a bit of a taboo about male hair loss. You know, if a guy was jumping over to Turkey or whatever to get a hair transplant, he was keeping it on the down low. He wasn't telling anyone. So when I got into this, I thought, nah, I want this to be like lassies getting a boob job. You know, they all flaunt it, they all talk about it. And I feel like a part of me now is like, I've achieved that. You know, guys are more open to talk about it. You know, I'm going up to Scalp Studio, get my scalp done. This guy inquired the other week there about getting the treatment done, and he was asking all about it, and then he turned around to me and he was like, I feel like every guy that's got this, it's like a badge of honour now. And I was like, well, aye, do you want to call it that, mate? You know, if it's going to make you feel better about yourself, like, go for it, man. Do you know what I mean? You know, I wouldn't have got that comment 4 years ago. So I'm right, okay, you know, it is taking a step forward in that direction. You know, again, everybody's talking about like suicide and stuff like that. You know, people need to speak about their insecurities and everything a bit more. And, you know, if the industry that I'm in is going to help that, you know, why not?
It goes back to that kind of, see what you said when you've got clients saying, I wish I'd done it years ago. That is, see, the day I left your salon the first time, that's the first thing that went through my head, because I spent like 2 years trying injections, trying all sorts of things, because you're
not the only guy, mate, honestly. I say about 80-90% of my clients they've all went down that route.
You feel like you're the only person in the world that's doing it. And as you say, like, you don't talk about it. Like, I didn't talk to anybody about it. Like, I just kind of sat and I was like, don't know what this is. And when you look at alopecia and you go to your doctor and they're like, there's no cure for it. We don't know what causes it. We don't know. Maybe it's stress. Try not to be stressed. And you're like, oh, my hair's falling out, mate. I can't not get stressed. Worse, mate. But then when you come in and you get that look, and it's weird because you're kind of sitting, and the thing that bothered me was like kind of patches, and you're like, I just want it to look like a fucking shaved hair, man. Then it looks all right. And it's amazing how much that affects your whole mental health and demeanour. And it's probably kind of underplayed. And it's obviously maybe it's the same for females as well. But as a guy, you're like, is this really a big issue? Do I want to talk about this? And people are like, fucking, it's not that big a deal. But it is massive. It's huge and it's so underplayed.
And that's it. And it can eat away like at your mental state. You know, I've got guys that coming in and used to say if they'd order a takeaway, you know, they'd literally stick a hat on to go into the door to the delivery driver. And I thought, man, you don't want to live your life like that. And, you know, I shall. All the stories, you know, guys fear to walk about when it's raining or windy or whatever, fear that it's going to sweep their hair over and expose their baldy bits of recession. And it's mental, guys walking about like that, and it's, you know, a lot are to this day, you know, and I'm just like, there is an easy fix to this, you know. Yeah, just back to, I didn't want this to be like a big taboo anymore, like male hair loss, you know, because it does get guys down. Like you say, they can close up. They don't want to do certain things in their life anymore just because they're getting themselves so down and depressed about their hair loss. And you know, a lot of guys are just fighting a losing battle. You know, there's nothing they can do. No. The best thing you can do is speak about it, you know, and just see what options there are for each individual. But honestly, I could sit here all day and tell you about different client stories, you know, just, you know, as far as some clients, they have been feeling suicidal and stuff like that, and they're coming in and you're literally just changing their life. It's brilliant, mate.
I was going to say that must get you through the days where, because there'll be days when you're kind of physically, mentally exhausted because the concentration levels are huge, but that must be the other side of it that kind of picks you up at the end of the day going, well, I've had 3 folk in that have all left buzzing with what I've done.
Like you say, mate, like, you know, it's no matter how I'm feeling on that day, mate, as soon as like I shut that door and I know you've got a few clients in that day, it's just like you're in the zone. You've got 2-3 clients coming in the door. You're like, no matter, you're just going to try your hardest to make their lives better and just do the best possible work that you can. And that definitely that's what keeps me going. As soon as they jump off that chair and they look in the mirror and you see that smile on their face or just even the look in their eyes and you're like, right, okay, I've made an impact here. You know, and I've had, mate, honestly, the hardest guys you can meet break down in tears, hug me, shake my hand, like everything. And and I bumped in a lot of them in the street just up the town and in Tesco, whatever. And they're like, oh, Dougie, like I'm absolutely loving this. Like, it's brilliant, mate, honestly. Again, you know, need to come in and see you, mate, get a top up, whatever. And you're like, God, I remember when that guy first walked through the door, and as soon as he took that hat off, he just, you know, crawled up into a wee shell because he was exposing his insecurity. And then it's like 3-4 sessions in the studio, and it's like guys walking about shoulders back, like absolutely buzzing, man.
It's like personally, I totally get that because that's what I was like, and it's that kind of, it's therapeutic as well because when I'd finished my treatment with you and I'd done the before and after, and I'd never shared anything on social about it, like anything, like my pals and that knew, but nobody didn't talk about it.
I appreciate you doing that, by the way.
And I put it on and I was like, never been so nervous about hitting fucking send in my life, man. And see the amount of folk that were like, that looks incredible, man. It just looks, and I felt like I'd got me back. I was back to kind of myself, and that must be the same for most folk that come in. It's when I look on your pages, it is the before and afters because you're like, fucking hell, man, look at that to that guy's come in low as you like, and then you see the pure beaming smile at the end because that's all they wanted to begin with. Do you know what I mean? It's
that's it, mate. Yeah, I went through the whole kind of hair loss journey myself, where a hairline was creeping back, and I wasn't happy. And I got a few sessions of the treatment done, and I remember how I felt. You know, just having that darker appearance in the scalp, I was like, oh, I feel like I've got something back. I feel like I got like a bit of me back. Still wasn't happy though. I ended up jumping over to Turkey in January 2020, getting my hairline filled in. And you know, once I came back, I got a bit more pigment just to kind of fill it out a bit. And mate, just totally buzzing with it. Again, you just feel like you get a bit of your identity back. And you know, I do get a lot of clients that were in, you know, they've been in your shoes where they didn't want to share anything. And you know, next thing they're putting posts up for you, and they're just like look at how I'm looking now. You know, it's changed my life. I do get a lot of clients still walking in the door. Again, I'd say about 50% are just like, mate, I don't want any photos whatsoever. Yeah, and I totally understand that. I'm like, no worries. You know, I'm still going to do an amazing job on you. If you don't want any photos on the website, social media, whatever, I won't do it. And I get both sides. Yeah, I do. I get both sides of that. And it's I get it as you're still dealing with people's insecurities at the end of the day. Yeah. So, and you need to understand that. But it is always great when you get an amazing transformation and the client allows you to post it online. You know, it does wonders for the business. And not only that, the exposure to the industry as a whole. And you know, every week, mate, you're getting messages, whether it's WhatsApp, you know, through social media, guys in a night out or up at the football, whatever, and they're like, mate, I'm absolutely buzzing with this. You know, it's like every weekend, mate, I'm just getting selfies flooded in, mate. Like, you can just see how buzzing they are. No, like, clients, like, getting new girlfriends and all that, new relationships, and they're saying, I don't think I would have got this if it wasn't for having this new look, this new hairline, head of hair. And just how I feel off the back end of that, that's definitely probably the number one thing that keeps me going, mate. It's just all out the back end of it all when you're away from that environment, you know, that working environment, and then you're getting the photos and the messages and just lads on holiday, just absolutely buzzing with it, man. It's good, mate. You know, a far cry from printing t-shirts for 7-8 years. So I often wonder, like, what would my life been like if I didn't make that transition? You know, I would have still been up there, you know, making an honest living, but probably kind of miserable within myself because it was never me.
And it's hard as well because you had that first 3-6 months when you've only got one client, and a lot of folk would have jumped at that point and went, well, this isn't going to work. But what made you kind of keep?
I think it was back to when I set myself up printing t-shirts and all that. My mum helped me out a lot of that. And when I first started out printing t-shirts again, signed this 12-month lease, getting all the equipment in, and you were getting no one showing up at the counter. And when I started doing this, it was right before like Instagram and all that. And I was, you know, I think Facebook was a thing, but there was no such thing as Instagram. And I used to run about the town, mate, every morning and print A3 laminate posters and stick them up around bus stops, around walls, you know, t-shirt printing, poster printing. And, you know, I think with every poster I put up, I would always get a sale out of it. But every morning, the bin men would come and rip them down. But people would come up to me going, I've seen your posters around the town, mate, and I've got a stag do coming up, or I've got a bar around the corner, I'm getting t-shirts printed. So 9 a.m. every morning, mate, like, I was like, I need to make this happen. You know, I need to, you know, I need to pay the bills. I need to, you know, afford a lifestyle. So, yeah, I did that for months, mate. And then I remember Instagram just became a thing, and I made a business profile for Pretty Cool Printing, it was called at the time. And again, next thing I know, mate, I was getting queues every lunchtime with people, you know, seeing your stuff on social media. And next thing, that's when the business grew, the printing business. And when I, you know, fast forward, selling the printing business, and I set myself up in Scalp Studio, I just knew, right, I've been here before. I can make this happen again. And just being hungry for it. And, you know, opportunity always follows difficulty. And I was just like, right, I've been here before, I'll make this happen again. It's something I wanted for myself. And I was like, right, how many other guys up the town wanted this done? I was like, it's just a big case of getting the word out there. And I'll stick at it and see how it, and see where it goes. And it'll be 4 years in March.
Whirlwind 4 years.
Aye. Again, mate, if you turned around and said you started that last year, I'd believe you. It's just, mate, it's just flash an eye. And also when I did set that up, I have to talk about when my mum got diagnosed with cancer, that like 2 months before I decided set this up, and just the battles I was dealing with, you
Yeah.
know, on the back end of it all. Very hard, mate.
Aye.
Very hard.
Did that give you more of a focus on making it a success
Aye,
as well?
100%, mate. Yeah,
Aye.
yeah. One of the ones. I was like, you need to make this happen.
Aye.
Life's too short.
Mm-hmm.
Been here before. If I just keep pushing away, every time someone made an inquiry, it was just a case of like getting them in and just doing the best job you possibly could, mate.
Right.
There's no way around the hard work and patience to achieve something great.
Right.
Yeah, mate.
But you must notice now as well, they're creeping up everywhere now in the UK, and when you started, obviously there wasn't many, if any, in Scotland. But have you noticed big changes industry-wise in the last 4 years?
So honestly, seeing about give it 5 years, mate, and you know, it'll be like tattoo parlours. They'll be everywhere, and I'm probably part to blame with that because I'm doing the training. You know, I'm training people up. I can put it back to my printing business, mate. You know, when I first got into that, you know, I was one of the only ones in the town doing it. Next thing, they were popping up everywhere. People try to duplicate my business, and then they were appearing up online, you know, at cheaper prices, and you're having to compete with that. It's going to happen with this, man. I've got a good solid client base though. You know yourself, you need to come back for touch-ups and stuff like that. I know what I'm like. I will always do this, but I can't help myself. There's other business ventures I want to go after. I've got this vision board in my office, mate. My unborn kid, he's due in April, so that's going to be a life-changing moment.
Definitely.
And I've got 2 business ideas on that vision board, and I want to go after the both of them. So, you know, give it 5 years, I'll have my solid client base. You're going to see these SMP clinics popping up everywhere. But I'll have Scalp Studio, but the plan is to grow that brand and just see what happens with it, mate. As I say, I can always turn my hand to something else if it.
That's 100%, mate. I've always been curious about the training side of it because, and I've said this to you when I've been in, I would imagine that there's people that come in with the same mindset as yourself that want to learn it and want to go and do things and make something for themselves. But I'd imagine there's also an element of people who think it's an easy gig and they can come in, do your course and go away and make a shitload of money inside a month. But how do you find it doing the actual, is that what you see it?
I see it all the time, mate. And also see, you know, you've got these bigger companies down south. There's a couple of them in particular that are training like 6 people at once and all that. And you know, the trainers and the trainees are all seen as cash cows. You really are. And honestly, with this industry, there's no way around getting amazing before you're making amazing money. And I think that's just going to get worse. But you can always tell when someone walks through the door if they're just wanting this to make easy money. You can always tell. And if that is the case, they're not going to get very far. You know, because it is hard work. Sometimes it can become boring. I generally feel if you want to make a success in the industry, you've got to have some sort of passion for it. You know, luckily for me, I went through that kind of hair loss thing and I was paranoid. So I've been on the receiving end of it. I know how it feels. And that's what's probably gave me the spark. That I just knew when I got into this, I'm going to become amazing at it. When I first started doing it, you know, I was looking at these guys in America and just what the results they were achieving. I was like, I want to get to that level. And I was like, I'm going to get there. And it took years. It took years, mate. And again, with people that walk through the door, you can tell the difference between someone that's wanting the money or someone that's just really want to change people's lives. And those select few, they're doing amazing. You know, they've opened up, most of them have opened up their own clinics, you know, and they're seeing the results. And I was like, wow, you know, they're getting good. And it's a shame, you know, people that do want to just get it for the money, and you can only teach them as much as you can. You know, you're giving them all the correct fundamentals, and they don't listen to you.
Aye.
They don't listen to you.
Aye.
And it's like, there's only so much babysitting you can do.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be a frustrating part of the
Aye.
training. And that's why I like to keep it one-to-one.
Mm-hmm.
There's just so much to take in
Yeah.
to learn this treatment. Again, you know, you're dealing with a body part that they're going to be looking at every single day in that mirror. Do you know what I mean? So yes, you want to get the treatment right. You also want to get the training right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're giving them everything. And that's the thing. It's as the months and years progress, you're going to see like all these wee clinics and that popping up.
Aye.
You're going to see more botched jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like any other industry, I suppose,
Aye.
mate. As it grows, you're just going to get these cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just being aware of that. You know,
Aye.
make sure if you are going to get into something like this, do your homework.
Aye.
There's no way around doing your
Mm-hmm.
homework. You know, just make sure the artist is, you know, is performing and doing these results that you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just dive into something just
Aye.
because you see, you know, a guy down the road doing it half price or whatever.
Aye.
You know, before you know it, you're having to spend thousands of pounds getting
Aye.
it lasered, and then you're jumping up to myself or
Mhm.
whatever to get it fixed, and
Aye.
that is happening.
Mm-hmm.
There was a brief period there where clients, they've went elsewhere and they've spent crazy amounts of money, and they're having to come to me for at least 1, 2, 3 sessions to
Aye.
get it sorted. And you know, when you look at it, they're not that much cheaper.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? And
Aye.
then you've got to think, you know, price shouldn't be much of a factor, you know, if you're wanting an amazing treatment.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be quite frustrating, mate.
Aye.
Yeah,
So does that make your job harder in a way if somebody comes in and they have had work done and it's no up to scratch because you're then having to go over that and make it your own kind of stamp on it?
Again, yeah, it just depends on the type of previous work that they've had, but I've had some nightmares in, mate.
Aye.
Probably a couple where I've should have said, listen, I can't help you, mate. You need to go and get laser. But me being me, I'm like, no, I can change this guy. Like, might take a few extra sessions, but if you keep coming back, I will be able to sort it. And there's been times where I've been like, oh my God, what have I signed up for, man? Like, this is never ending. I'm getting nowhere with this. And you can stare at a treatment all day long and be like, oh my God, like, you know, I'm getting nowhere with this. But when you take a step back and again, the client jumps up, looks in the mirror, he's like, oh my God, man, what a difference. I'm like, actually, that does look all right. You spent too much time in it. That happens a lot as well, mate. But again, you're going to see a lot more of this as the industry grows and gets more exposure, more and more people jumping on the bandwagon.
Aye. But then that's the same with tattoo parlours as well.
Exactly.
Originally.
Mate. Aye.
You go to some and you're like, Jesus Christ, man.
Aye, that's it, mate. Yeah, you're seeing all these guys with botched, horrible big slang tags and all this, mate. Same with most kind of beauty industries. You see that. Makeup, eyelashes. You know, you're going to get your cowboys at it. They never last very long, do they?
No,
you know
100%, mate. 100%.
And I'd like to think now, you know, we've got this kind of established name where, you know, if you're going to come to Scalp Studio, you're going to get an amazing treatment. Yeah. No matter what. You know, as soon as I'm in that studio, mate, I'm giving my all.
Aye.
I'm doing my best. And that's how we, myself, just planning on growing that business, mate. You know, just through word of mouth and just every client that comes in, they're getting the best treatment possible.
Aye.
Yeah, mate.
Best way to be.
No, totally.
What about, and you've probably had loads of these, what's the biggest kind of misconceptions or kind of myths you've seen about the treatment? Because you always get people online that'll be like, no, this is that, or he uses that, or you shouldn't do that. But for your point of view, what's the biggest ones you see for clients coming in and asking? Yeah,
like myths about the whole treatment. The number one probably is the colour of the pigment. Because I think anyone that's going to get this treatment, more often than not, you're going to stare at a lot of botched jobs before you jump in. And you always get the same questions. Mate, I've heard this is going to turn green, purple, blue. And you're like, because of the pigment that we use, this organic pigment, it either goes black or shades of grey. It can't go any other colour. Unless the practitioner goes far too deep and it can cause saturation. And again, it will start to settle under more layers of skin. So you could get discoloration and it could go that kind of bluey, tingy way. That's if the treatment was performed incorrectly.
Aye.
But that's probably your biggest myth. If it discolours, and as long as you're getting, you know, the proper pigment and the practitioner is carrying out the proper technique, there's no way it can change colour. And that's probably your biggest myth in the industry. Again, the whole kind of pain factor in it. This depends on the individual, whether they want, you know, most clients, they don't find it that painful. Again, but I do get clients that find it totally excruciating. It's just down to the client's pain threshold, mate. I don't know how you feel or yourself.
I think for me it was the sides. I think the top is fine, but I don't know if it's the sides because the skin's so sensitive and you kind of feel it, but
got all these nerve endings happening up
yeah, I think, but it's a bit like a tattoo. I find after like 15-20 minutes you switch off. I think your body just kind of gets used to what's happening, and
that's it.
You get wee kind of jolts, but
no,
nothing. But then I spoke to people before it and they're like, oh, it's fucking brutal, man. So it just depends, I think, innit?
So with this treatment, it's, you know, we go half as deep as a traditional tattoo. Half a mil tattoos, it's generally around about 3 mil. I'm pretty sure that's right. And almost like a single micro needle to the naked eye. So nowhere near like a traditional tattoo. There's no bloodshed as well, just, you know, it's minor swelling. So again, most sessions last around 2 hours each. So if you do find it a bit on the painful side, you can put up it. And most clients are fine. I do get the odd screamer, you know, it's just part and parcel. So you're like, right, you need to stop every 5-10 minutes. Like, right, it is what it is. I think that's really it when it comes to myths about the full treatment. Again, no two skin types are the same. You know, you could get 2 guys in for first session. The first guy, you could have an absolute breeze a session and it looks amazing after one session. You're like, I want to get a photo of that because that looks brilliant on you. You can get the next guy in and his skin is just a total nightmare. You know, and it just doesn't take as well. You're having to double pass it, triple pass it. Before you know it, you're there for hours. Just try to sort it, but you always get there in the end with a treatment. But it's a simple process, but it's hard work. It's hard work, mate.
The concentration must be immense.
Yeah. I say this to my partner all the time. It's very easy to hit burnout. When I first got into it, you know, I remember doing 1 client a day. And I was like, oh God, I can never do 2 a day. Like, it takes a lot out of you, and it does. You know, you're doing 2 a day. Like, right, I can never do 3 a day. Like, you're doing 3 a day. But again, mate, I love it. But I shoot myself in the foot a lot of times, mate, because you're up the road, you're done and you're shattered. And I can't help myself. Like, I could work myself with the bone, man. And it's just in me. But I'm going to learn now this year to I'm taking a step back a bit, you know, and just.
You're going to?
I'm going to need to, mate. I know. But in terms of myths, mate, I think the whole discoloration around the treatment is, as long as it's getting performed correctly and they're using the proper technique, the proper materials, mate, there's no way it can discolour.
They should be fine.
I mean, I don't know if there's any other myths that you've heard.
No, I've not seen
around it.
I think when I first looked into it, and I probably fitted into that category you're talking about when I'd come in and seen you, and I waited a month or 2, because I think you just kind of, because I looked at so many things and you're like, is this too simple? Is there something else here? And you go away and you're absolutely right. See, when you Google it, Jesus, man, some of the things that you see, like botched wise, are horrendous. But then I think looking on your page and looking at the before and afters, and I knew a few people that had got it done, and you look at them and I'm like, fucking, that looks ideal, man. And it's just that trust thing. It's a
trust thing,
It's something that you'll go and get hundreds of things done in your life, but it's your head, so it's everybody sees it every minute of the day, and you're putting your trust in somebody. So I think that was the biggest thing for me, taking away the kind of.
And that's why I like doing the face-to-face consultations with most clients. You know, I want to get you in. I want to make sure you're the right candidate. Make sure you're not a red flag. You know what I mean? And then just make sure, like, and I'll explain the process in a bit more detail. And again, just break down those barriers. Make sure that we keep everything transparent with one another. And then there's never any pressure around it. It's like you go away, have a think about it. You get in touch when you're ready. I think that definitely helps with it, with the whole client journey. There's that. I think that's the kind of beauty of how we kind of work it. It's like there's no pressure. Sales on our end. Like I'm not about that. I'm just like, you come to me when you're ready. And I'll guarantee I'll do a good job.
Because it is one of the things you want to just come to the decision in your own time. Rather than, because I've spoke to different places and without naming them, and you get folk messaging you every day and you're like, fucking it's peace, man. It's a pure hard sale, which just messes with your head.
Pure car salesman. And they're even secret shoppers in my end, and I know who they are straight away. And then back to the whole botched job scenario. You know, some of these botched jobs that are coming in, they're going to these big name clinics, and then they charge double the what I charge. You know, but putting the cost aside, the work that some of these practitioners carry out, it's like, you know, how could you leave a client like this? You know, and then they're having to come to me. They're paying more money for me to correct it. So, you know, for a client wanting to get into something like this, you know, just do your homework, you know, sit on it, take your time, and just naturally you'll come to a decision whether it's for you or it's not.
What about any kind of bits of advice that you've had through having the business, starting the business, that have kind of stuck with you and you still kind of use?
I mean, mate, I had 2 jobs at 14, mate. I was selling cakes on a Thursday, Friday night, mate, and I had a paper run on a Sunday. You know, I had
always good money in a Sunday paper run.
It was, mate. It was brilliant, mate. It was brilliant. So I think just progressing into the different jobs and stuff like that. You know, I've never been to uni or college or that. It's just I'm just kind of learning on the way. We were brought up by you know, a single mum who struggled bringing us up, mate. So we never really had a lot of money. But my mum used to have small businesses growing up, and a shop that she had, mate, it was a naughty knicker shop in the Paisley Centre called Classy Chassis. So we used to go there at the weekends. You know, we'd go to school and then we'd need to go with my mum at the weekends because she had a shop there. And just being there, mate, and probably observing everything and just taking it in, how my mum used to run about, selling underwear. I've kind of been from that kind of self-employed background, and then of course for 14, mate, selling cakes door to door, and then from there, I had a part-time job in JD Sports back then. Cool job to have. I was earning £3.22 an hour. You go after school for 3 years, no even earn a tenner. You know what I mean? And then from there, mate, I worked in the Rainbow Room in Buchanan Street for almost a year, mate. Just as an apprentice. I don't know why I wanted to be a hairdresser, mate, but I always liked I always liked hair. So again, I think that's where it began. That's where it began, mate. And I learnt a lot from there, mate. Just you know, the guy that's got that, he's built an empire, and just I like the whole business side of it as well. Like just seeing how it was, they're just putting everything together and making this magical thing. And I from there, mate, studied fitness and health at college for a couple of years, but there was a business class that was every Wednesday. I used to come to life in that business class, and I think from that moment I knew I wanted to be involved in business. No matter what I did, that was that moment I was like, right, I want to do something. And then that's when I got involved in the t-shirt printing. Again, me and my mum set up a wee stall doing t-shirts, and just learning on the job. And you know, that taught me everything I need to know and how to run a successful business. Little did I know back then, I was like, oh, is this what I want to do? It taught me everything I need to know. And again, mate, you know, there's always sharks in the water. I could have been stung so many times with doing what I do now, but with the lessons that I learned running that t-shirt printing business, it's kept me in the right path doing this, mate. But just going back to you know, even working from I was 14, mate, it just been that we never really had money. If I wanted to earn anything, you know, I had to go and earn it myself, mate. I just probably from being that young age,
I just used to it.
I just knew, mate, that I was going to have my own business, and I don't know, I never knew what I was going to do, mate. And mate, you know, I did not know I'd end up in the hair loss industry. You know, this new thing was going to come about, and here we are, mate. It's
paid off.
It's paid off, mate. Yeah, mate.
What about what can you tell us about the future? What have you got in mind? Where do you see it going?
We're going to launch a product range for the scalp, and products that will be available online. You know, again, every client wants to know, you know, they've spent X amount of money on the treatment. What can they do to look after it? You know, so we are going to be manufacturing a couple of different moisturisers that are going to protect the skin and the scalp. From there, I think we're looking at another location. This is proven quite difficult, mate, especially this type of business, you know, scaling it, because it's all about trust, you know, and just finding someone that you can basically trust to run another location. But it will happen this year. That's the plan, mate.
Nice.
And again, mate, there's another business that I've got in mind that I'd like to have a stab at. So that's the plan, mate, is to have a stab at that. It'll be one of them ones. If I don't try it now, then I think I would regret it. But a bit like yourself, because I think you're looking at getting into business.
Mate. There is a few things going on in the background.
Right, okay.
Over the next year.
Is there?
Hopefully. And then just, I think the same as you, because something else came into my kind of head last week when we had a phone call for somebody, and right away my head's telling we could do something with this.
Right.
I'm always looking for something. I'm always looking for an angle or something to see what you're saying about you always seen yourself having a business. That's how I see myself, and I don't know what it will be.
You don't know what it will be.
But I like my job, but it's a job. I want to have something that's mine, and I've created it, and I'm in it, and I'm running it. So I don't know what that looks like, but I'm hoping this year will open.
You'll figure it out. I think I am a believer in, you know, if you just keep your eyes open, you know, something will come about, mate. It was like me in the printing that, like, I was just like, oh my God, I don't want to keep doing this to the stage. I was never in it. I was just letting the staff run it. And I was just on the lookout, mate. And next thing, scalp micropigmentation, cosmetic tattoo for hair. Like, what? Like, I was like, that sounds right up my street. I could have a stab at that. And mate, I've got these other two. I'm still going to grow Scalp Studio, launch the products. There's another location we're looking at. But in the back burner, mate, there's these two other business ideas. I'm like, right, I will have a stab at it, mate.
Well, mate.
Yeah.
Me as well.
But I think you want to keep that to yourself, what it could be, mate.
I don't want to jinx it,
mate. I think it just spoil it, mate. For me, you know, I stung myself on a foot before, just talking about all these ideas. It's just wait till you execute it.
100%, mate.
100%. You know, putting the groundwork in the background.
Go when it's ready to go.
That's it, mate. Totally. But mate, it's brilliant, mate. I love it. You know, I could never have a boss again. And
that's the thing.
And then just going back to, you know, watching my mum, you know, she did, you know, struggle, but she was self-employed as well. And just, I couldn't have went any other way. I knew I'd probably always be like a business owner.
What you wanted to do.
Totally, mate.
What would you say then for people that are maybe looking at your training and looking at coming in and being in that space of, I want to get into this industry, I want to be self-employed. What advice would you give to the people before they sign up for the training, and what should they be thinking beforehand? Yeah.
So even when I jump on a phone call with them, and before they decide to pull the trigger on the training, I'll always say to them, listen, you know, it's hard work. You know, I don't sugarcoat it at all. I'm like, again, with the treatments, go away, have a think about it. You know, I'll run through what the course details, you know, the 3-day hands-on training. I'll go into basically what we cover. And yeah, answer any questions they might have. And from there, you know, I'm like, I'll tell people, you know, a lot of people want to get into this for the money aspect of things. It's not going to happen if you're thinking about the money aspect of things, because as soon as you start practicing, you're picking that machine up, and then you're practicing on fake skin, fruits, a fake scalp. It can become daunting. It can become repetitive, boring. So, and all these things, you're going to hate it if you feel like you're just focusing on the cash at the end of it. So I go away, think about it, if this is seriously what you want to do. And we get so many inquiries for the training. I'd say it's like the 1% that jump on it, because I tell them, go away and think about it. But I'm getting more and more inquiries, and you know, we're booked up to March for the training. You know, and it is great. You do get the odd person that comes in and you can see in them, you know, they want to do this, they've got a passion for it for whatever reason. They've got a partner, a husband, they know someone that could really benefit for the treatment, and that's why they want to get into it. And then I'm like, all right, okay, right, you might get good at this. You know, there's always a wee spark there that will tell you. So it's funny, if you want to jump on it, you know, you're getting into this industry to make a difference. And the money side of things follows from that. You know, and it's like anything you get into, you know, get into it with a bit of passion. Have a hunger for it. As long as you want to create amazing treatments, the money will come.
You've got to put the hours in.
You've got to put the hours in. That's what I say as well. You know, it's a lot of hard work, and there's no way around putting the hours and hours of practice in and getting good. And they'll always ask me, how long did it take you? And I'll say it probably took me 6 months to really find my feet with it. And then it probably took me 12 months of like solid getting people in and out to get good. Second year, it's like, right, okay, I'm getting really good. Fourth year, it's like, right, I think I'm smashing it now. And then, you know, fourth year, you know, like to say, like, I've got to be up there. You know, we're the best now. Come to Scalp Studio. But there's no way around the hard work, mate. And again, like I said earlier, like, I can't believe it's been 4 years already. I just feel like it's flew by, mate. And you know, I'm not even advertising anymore right now. I don't feel like I could handle it. You know, just the whole people booking in organically. It goes a lot smoother. It's easier. People really know, like, if they're coming to you, they know they're wanting it. So it's in a nice, comfortable position now, mate. And I am enjoying it.
Long may it continue.
It's good, mate. It's took a long time to get here, mate. Do you know what I mean? It's just everything just the barriers that we've had to overcome. Honestly, I've just sit here all day and tell you about them, mate. And it's like this, like the other business venture. I know it's going to take time, patience, hard work, and it's like, right, and the energy that it takes. And I'm like, right, am I ready to do all that again? And still run this and grow this. So it's just like, right, you need to make it happen. It's just one of the ones, setting yourself goals.
Go to have a bash.
Go have a bash, mate, totally.
100%.
That's the thing, mate. Just kind of setting maybe a 5-year plan. And just like, right, okay. And just try and smash it, mate. Mate.
You'll get there.
I'll get there, mate. I'll get there. It's like anything else, mate. You know, just put in the hours. And, you know, and just make it a reality. But it's been good, mate. Again, mate, me and you and I, we've both been on the receiving end of the treatment. And it has been a game changer.
Oh, 1,000,000%, man.
Yeah,
it's
mate.
It is life changing. Totally life changing. For your own peace of mind.
And I think with your transformation, it's probably up there, mate, with one of my favourites. For sure, mate. Definitely. Just when you look at that before and after. Oh, it's like
night and day. Night and day, mate.
Got a good couple of transformations coming up, mate. You know, got a few guys in this month that I'm just looking forward to getting that last session on. It would be a game changer on them, mate. But aye, mate, no way around the hard work being,
No.
being self-employed, mate. And I'm sure anyone else kind of listening to this,
Aye.
you know, that they're in the same shoes as us.
Mhm.
It's just, it's just constant, mate.
Aye.
You never switch off it.
No, never.
You don't.
Never, mate. It's been class.
But you wouldn't have it any other way.
No, never. It's been brilliant, mate. Thank you so much for coming in. And it's
Cheers, my man. Thank you.
As I say, I will always be banging the drum for it based on my own
thank you, mate. I
experience.
appreciate it.
But no, it's been brilliant. Thank you.
Thanks for inviting us, mate.
Cheers, mate.
I think there's a wee sponsorship coming up as well, mate. I need to get involved in that.
Aye, we're brilliant. Brilliant.
Cheers, my man. Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Gary, my man.